This is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Ancient History, 2006. World Facts. TV shows by Emmy winner. All about authors. Number, please. And salmon. Player one, start us. In February, he shot Harry Whittington, not his intended target. Okay, player one. Hey, you're right.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one, you pick again, please. Discovery, and this legendary space shuttle went aloft. It's player one. Oh, sorry. Here's the correct response. Atlantis. You again, player one. Answer? The Daily Double.
Woo!
You are in first place. You need to select your wager. All right, here's your clue. In November, an Andy Warhol work depicting this Asian leader sold for more than $17 million. Right. Select again. This famous American passed away the day after Christmas at the age of 93. Here's the response we were looking for. Gerald Ford. Player one, back to you for our next selection. He led the French team to the finals of soccer's World Cup, only to be ejected after headbutting an Italian player. Here's the correct response. Zinedine Zidane. Player one, you pick again, please. Lots of peridot has been found on the island of Zeebrugge in this colorful sea off Africa. It's player one. That's correct. We return to you, player one. Here's Jimmy. He'll show you.
Built with Andrew Carnegie's gift, the Peace Palace in this Dutch city houses the International Court of Justice.
Let's hear it, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. The Hague. Select again. 1/3 of the people in this South American country live in Montevideo. Most of its 15 million sheep don't. Here's the correct response. Uruguay. Please pick again, player one. Hordes of people know that Ulaanbaatar is this ancient Asian nation's capital. Here's what we were looking for. Mongolia. Player one. Pick again. Mount Shikara in these mountains is the highest peak in Georgia, the country, not the state. Player one? Oh, sorry. Here's the response we were looking for. The Caucasus. Select again. 2009, Glenn Close. Here's the correct response. Damages. You get to pick again, player one. 2008, Alec Baldwin. Here's the response we were looking for. 30 Rock. Player one, back to you. 2009, Bryan Cranston. The correct response is Breaking Bad. Player one, choose again. 2011, Juliana Margulies. We're talking about The Good Wife. You again, player one. 2004, Cynthia Nixon. Here's what we wanted. Sex and the City. Player one, choose again. In the early 1920s, she scandalized Atlanta society by doing a provocative dance at a debutante ball. Let's hear it, player one. Correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Mark Twain said, "I came in with this in 1835. It is coming again next year, 1910, and I expect to go out with it." He did. We're talking about Halley's Comet. You again, player one. He wrote his last short story, The Betrothed, shortly before his play, The Cherry Orchard. Here's what we wanted. Anton Chekhov. Please pick again, player one. This novelist, who wrote about gorillas in Congo, passed away in 2008. Here's what we were looking for. Michael Crichton. You get to pick again, player one. His father disapproved of his poetry writing, so Chile's Naftali Ricardo Reyes Basualto adopted this pen name. Here's the response we were looking for. Pablo Neruda. You again, player one. It precedes minutes in the title of a popular Sunday night TV news program. Let's hear it, player one. Hey, you're right. Select again. Highest number you can throw with just one standard die. Yes, player one? That's right. Way to go. Select again. By a cumulative count, you get a total of 364 gifts in this song, including 42 swans. Let's hear it, player one. Good for you. And you're back into some money. You again, player one. Of 80, 800, or 1800, the approximate length in miles of the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. Here's what we wanted. 800. Player one, you pick again, please. Barack Obama is officially listed as this number U.S. President. Yes, player one?
Yeah!
Player one, back to you for our next selection. Fish ladders help salmon travel upstream over these man-made obstructions. Yes, player one? That's it. We return to you, player one. Salmon are members of the same family as the speckled or brook variety of this fish. Here's the correct response. The trout. Please pick again, player one. World Book says this country leads the world in salmon fishing with more than 450,000 tons caught each year. It's player one. That is correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Weighing up to 100 pounds, this large type of salmon shares its name with a warm, dry wind. It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. The correct response is the Chinook. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. When it gets its silvery scales and migrates to the sea for the first time, a young salmon is called this. Let's hear it, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. The correct response is a smolt. The Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are Conjunction Junction, Cooking Class, Ain't That America, SNL Actors in the Movies, Literary Bears, and This Side of Parasites. All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. This two-letter word is also a Pacific Northwest state's postal abbreviation. Here's the correct response. Or. Select again. This conjunction comes before rain, heat, and gloom of night in the United States Postal Service credo. Let's hear it, player one. Nope. Here's the correct response. Nor. Player one, you pick again, please. Take away an I from the end of a fabled Himalayan creature, and you get this conjunction. Here's what we wanted. Yet. You get to pick again, player one. Answer?
Yeah!
One of the daily doubles. And you have the lead. What are you going to wager? All right, here's your clue. This three-letter conjunction is commonly replaced by a symbol in Jeopardy clues. That is correct. We return to you, player one. This conjunction is also the symbol for a poisonous element. Let's hear it, player one. Hey, you're right. Player one, choose again. If you boil these before making them into hash browns, they'll stick together better and cook faster, too. Player one? That's correct. Player one, back to you. To make bunny salad, use a chilled pear half for the bunny's body and a ball of cottage cheese for this appendage. Okay, player one. Yes. Please pick again, player one. Joy of Cooking suggests using these Thanksgiving berries in any recipes calling for red currants. It's player one. You are correct. We return to you, player one. The Chicken of the Sea website suggests making enchiladas with the albacore type of this. Here's what we wanted. Tuna. Select again. For the silver dollar type of these breakfast treats, drop the batter onto the griddle 1 tablespoon at a time. It's player one. That is correct. Select again. This state's Little Diomede Island is about 2.5 miles from Russia's Big Diomede Island. Here's the response we were looking for. Alaska. Player one, choose again. This state celebrates July 24th, the day of Brigham Young's arrival, as Pioneer Day. Here's the response we were looking for. Utah. You again, player one. Answer. The other daily double. And you have the lead. What are you going to wager? Okay, here is the clue. In early 2006, New Orleans was overtaken in population by this nearby capital city. It didn't last. Good. Player one, back to you. Since 1792, Frankfurt has been the capital of this state. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. Select again. Lake Calhoun and Lake Harriet are in its chain of lakes. Here's the correct response. Minneapolis. You again, player one. Wayne Campbell. We're talking about Mike Myers. Player one, back to you. Axel Foley. Here's what we wanted. Eddie Murphy. You again, player one. Joliet Jake Blues. Here's what we wanted. John Belushi. Player one, choose again. MacGruber. Here's the response we were looking for. Will Forte. Player 1, back to you. Mrs. Primat Conehead. The correct response is Jane Curtin. Select again. This literary bear started life as a real teddy bear bought as a toy for Christopher Milne. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's it. Player 1, pick again. Created by Walt Morey, this docile bear lives in the Alaskan wilderness. Yes, Player 1? No. Here's the correct response. Gentle Ben. Select again. This bear got his name from the London train station where he was first found after arriving from Peru. Here's what we wanted. Paddington Bear. You get to pick again, Player 1. On this doctor's island, you'll find a bear bull and an old woman made of vixen and bear. We're talking about Dr. Moreau. Select again. His story, The Bear, recounts an annual hunting expedition in Yoknapatawpha County, Mississippi. Here's what we were looking for. William Faulkner. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. When a tiny parasite enters an oyster's shell, mantle cells cover it with nacre until this is formed. Yes, Player 1? That's right. Way to go. We return to you, Player 1. This plant grows as a parasite on apple tree trunks, blooms in February and March, yet still is a factor in Christmas kisses. It's Player 1. That is correct. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. PSI is a charity delivering nets to fight this parasite-caused disease that kills 3,000 African children a day. Okay, Player 1. Right. Player 1, you pick again, please. You can vent this soft ductless organ that fights infection with parasite detection. Let's hear it, Player 1. Here's what we wanted. The spleen. Here's the $2,000 clue. Closely related to meningitis, this inflammation of the brain can result from viral infections or tiny parasites. The correct response is encephalitis. I'll see you for Final Jeopardy in just a moment. So much depends on how you do in the Final Jeopardy category, which today is economics. What are you going to wait? And now the final clue. In 2007, this 18th century professor and writer became the first Scotsman to appear on an English banknote. And your response? And that will lose you. Here's what we were looking for. Adam Smith. Congratulations, Player 1. You're the winner. Thanks for playing. We'll see you next time.
Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Privet.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Literature. Canada, Mexico, or the United States? The solar system. USA Today's memorable quote makers. You are what you eat. And pop culture. Player one, where do we start? His ship was wrecked off an island near South America. He remained alone on the island for 28 years. Let's hear it, player one. Hey, you're right. Player one. Pick again. The Lilliputians called this Jonathan Swift character Quinbus Flestrin, which means Great Man Mountain. Player one.
Yeah!
That's correct. You get to pick again, player one. In a Nathaniel Hawthorne tale, Thomas Moll built a house in Salem with 7 of these. Yes, player one. No, sorry. We're talking about gables. Player one, choose again. Tom Sawyer told this girl, "I don't care for anybody but you," then gave her a brass knob from an andiron. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
That is correct. Player one, choose again. The Ministry of Truth is Oceania's propaganda department in this Orwell classic. Okay, player one. That's not it. Here's the correct response. 1984. Player one, choose again. The largest in area. Let's hear it, player one. Ooh, sorry. That's in. The correct response is Canada. Player one, back to you for our next selection. It's 90% Catholic. It's player one. That is correct. You're out of the hole. Player one, you pick again, please. The most populous. Let's hear it, player one. Right you are. Player one, back to you. It has 2 official languages. Yes, player one? That is correct. We return to you, Player 1. Ruled by an emperor from 1864 to 1867. Yes, Player 1?
Yeah!
That's correct. Select again. In December of 2006, NASA announced that water may have flowed on this planet's surface within the past decade. Yes, Player 1? Right. You get to pick again, Player 1. In 1980, Hermes, one of these objects, came within 300,000 miles of the Earth. Okay, Player 1. Yes. Player 1, back to you. On October 10th, 1846, 17 days after the discovery of this planet, its largest moon, Crichton, was discovered. Player 1? You got it. Please pick again, Player 1. These solar discharges, consisting of light, heat, and cosmic rays, may last up to an hour. Okay, Player 1. Hey, you're right. Select again. In July of 2005, scientists announced the discovery of Eris, a dwarf planet larger than Pluto, in this belt. Player 1?
Yeah.
That is correct. Please pick again, Player 1. Ah, yes, my sweet, if you eat this sticky liquid, comb and all, I'll definitely call you my this. Yes, Player 1? That is correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1, choose again. Eat too many of this original gourmet jelly bean, and its name may describe your tummy. Let's hear it, Player 1. Good.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1, pick again. If I eat a Frankfurter before I show off my skiing stunts, you have every reason to call me one of these. Yes, Player 1?
Yeah!
Yep. You get to pick again, Player 1. Louis Browning ate more than 22,000 of these cream-filled Hostess cakes. If you did the same, we'd call you one. Okay, Player 1.
Yeah!
That's correct. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. If you spend your last dime on one of these New Orleans-style hero sandwiches, you really will turn into one. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's correct. You get to pick again, Player 1. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Player 1? Good. Player 1, you pick again, please. It takes a village to raise a child. Here's the response we were looking for. Hillary Clinton. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. People, I just want to say, can we all get along? Okay, Player 1. No, sorry. The correct response is Rodney King. You get to pick again, player one. Answer, the Daily Double. You are currently in the lead. Player one, please select your wager. And the clue, keep hope alive. Yep. Player one, back to you for our next selection. How do we know when irrational exuberance has unduly escalated asset values? Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah!
Yes. Select again. All right, here with the clue is Jimmy.
Glasses with colored filters in each eye let you watch films in 3D. At the 2010 Grammys, the audience donned them for a montage from this performer's This Is It.
Player one. You are correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. In I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, Kevin James weds this Hanukkah song guy at Niagara Falls. Player one. Right. Player one, you pick again, please. Michael C. Hall of 6 Feet Under went to Showtime to play this homicidal title character. Let's hear it, player one. Hey, you're right. You again, player one. In 1964, he topped the pop music charts with the title song from Hello, Dolly. Let's hear it, player one. Good. Here's the $1,000 clue for you. A two-time Oscar-winning actress, one of her first jobs was as the Coppertone suntan lotion girl at age 3 in 1965. Player one? Correct. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. Astronomy. Women of achievement. Party. Foreign words and phrases. NBA nicknames. And title ballet women. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. In 1979, these were discovered around Jupiter. Saturn has them too. Let's hear it, player one. Correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Player one, pick again. The Milky Way is classified as this type of galaxy from the way its arms sweep around. Player one? Good. Player one, pick again. This name for radio sources that are among the brightest and most distant objects in the universe was coined in 1964. Yes, player one? Here's the correct response. Quasar. Player 1, you pick again, please. A list of this planet's moons, including Oberon and Titania, reads like a who's who of Shakespeare. It's Player 1. Correct. Please pick again, Player 1. You can have a roaring good time watching this meteor shower that put on an historic show in 1833. Let's hear it, Player 1. Hey, you're right.
Yeah! Woo!
We return to you, Player 1. Around 46 BC, Julius Caesar offended his countrymen by dedicating a statue to her. Yes, Player 1? That is correct. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. In November 1988, she was elected Prime Minister of Pakistan, becoming the first woman to head a modern Islamic nation. Yes, Player 1?
Yeah!
That's right. Way to go. Select again. In 1616, she and her husband John Rolfe traveled to England to help raise funds for the Virginia colonists. Okay, Player 1. Good. Player 1, you pick again, please. As an example to her Russian subjects, she and her son Paul had themselves inoculated against smallpox in 1768. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's it. Player 1, choose again. Answer, the first of the daily doubles. You are currently in the lead. So, what's your wager? Answer, to further the ambitions of her brother, her father, Pope Alexander VI, arranged several marriages for her. That's right. Way to go. Player 1, you pick again, please. Paper gifts are the traditional gifts at the party for this anniversary of a married couple. Player 1? Correct. You get to pick again, Player 1. The British passed 1774's Intolerable Acts to punish Massachusetts for a party in its harbor. Player 1? Yep.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1, you pick again, please. It's the beverage that would be most appropriate at the wild, riotous bacchanalia we've got planned. It's Player 1. Correct.
Yeah! Woo!
Select again. Oktoberfest is a 16-day party held every year in this Bavarian city. Let's hear it, Player 1. You are correct. You get to pick again, Player 1. In Mexico, a quinceañera is a girl's coming-of-age party on this birthday. Player 1?
Yeah!
Right you are. Player 1, back to you. The name of this type of poem is from the Japanese for stanza. Player 1?
Yeah!
That's right. Way to go. Please pick again, Player 1. Undercover cop Arnold Schwarzenegger taught it in a 1990 film. Okay, Player 1.
Yeah!
Correct. Please pick again, Player 1. Answer. The other daily double. You are in first place. Please enter your wager. Answer. A medical aphorism, primum non nocere, is translated as, first of all, do know this. You are correct. We return to you, player one. This Arabic salutation, often followed by alaikum, means peace. Player one? Correct. Please pick again, player one. Literally, blow of mercy, this French phrase is used for any decisive stroke. Let's hear it, player one.
Yeah.
Player one, pick again. MJ. It's player one. That is correct. You get to pick again, player one. Pistol Pete. Let's hear it, player one. That's it. Player one, pick again. Sir Charles. Okay, player one. Yes.
Yeah. Woo.
Please pick again, player one. Mr. Clutch. Player one. No, sorry. Here's what we wanted. Jerry West. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Hondo. Player one.
Yeah.
We return to you, player one. 1949 saw the first ballet version of this operatic Bizet work that features Don Jose and a toreador. Okay, player one.
Yeah.
Good. Player one, you pick again, please. The evil priest Frollo wants Esmeralda, but she's saved by a man named this. Let's hear it, player one. That's it. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Margot Fontaine dazzled audiences as Princess Aurora in this ballet. Let's hear it, player one. Right. Player one, choose again. This Kenneth Macmillan ballet intrigues with the curious story of the last of the four daughters of Tsar Nicholas II. Okay, player one. Right. And now the $2,000 clue. This Greek gal falls for her stepson Hippolytus in a ballet based on Racine's tragedy. Let's hear it, player one. That is correct. I'll see you for Final Jeopardy in just a moment. Here's today's Final Jeopardy category. Geometry. So, what's your wager? And the last clue? It's an ellipse with an eccentricity of 0. Did you come up with the correct response? And that correct response will add... This makes you our new champion, player one, so congratulations. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.